Hello, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Welcome to Beta Bay Toastmasters. We are a monthly television show sponsored by District 4, which stretches from, literally, San Francisco Bay to Monterey Bay. We are happy to present to you speakers and evaluators, some of the finest in our district. Each month, they will present to you topics that will inform, entertain, inspire, and motivate you. Sometimes once and sometimes all at once. We have two speakers today who will be followed by two evaluators. Our evaluators' jobs will be to offer our wonderful speakers suggestions for improvement and compliment them on things that they did very well. Our first speaker of the evening is Samya Boxberger-Oberoi, and her speech is entitled The Philosophy of Science, the Philosophy and Science of Yoga. The Philosophy and Science of Yoga. Please help me welcome Samya.
A book is a great tool to fulfill your destiny. The power of self-expression, the art of personal transformation, is yoga in ancient books. You see, yoga is a philosophy 5,000 years old. It's a philosophy rooted in the four-dimensional aspect of our human being. Yet today, when we read the news, when we look at the newspapers, when we listen to TV shows, or when we go to a yoga studio, what we see is yoga being uprooted into a physical practice that nourishes our body only. What about the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual aspect of our being that is being malnourished because the practice is not complete? Yoga, as it was intended and developed by the original masters, was a full practice that catered to our being. It catered to our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Now, I understand and I know it's great to go to the gym, it's great to show off a great body. I understand that marketing something as having a great body is great. It's a great marketing tool. Everybody wants to have the perfect body, isn't it? Don't you? Right? You do. What about if I started marketing to you? Let's have a great emotional well-being. Let's have a great mental well-being. Let's have a great spiritual well-being. Do you think that would be as powerful as let's look great and for everybody to see? And I think that's what marketing does today. But let's talk about that. Yes, yoga is great. Yes, you will have a nice body. Yes, you will feel good. Yes, it will help you recover from injury. And yes, it will support you. It may help relieve stress as well. But let me talk to you about things that people don't talk about. The emotional side of the practice. You see, the original master, when they talked about emotional side, they developed what is called mantras, affirmations. And those affirmations are the things that you can use to focus your mind. But more than that, they are words, ideas, and thoughts that you can use to craft your own reality. Have you ever heard the saying, you are what your thoughts are? You have. So this is why the spiritual masters wanted to give you a tool and let you know 5,000 years ago that you could craft your own reality if you only changed the way you were thinking. Be positive and you will have a positive outlook. Dream and you will accomplish great things. This is what the mantras were for. And that is part of the spiritual practice. Yes, they wanted you to have a great and healthy body. That's sure. Yes, they wanted you to have emotional well-being. This is why they crafted mantras. And then what else did they do for your mental well-being? They crafted what is called pranayama, breathing techniques. You see then, already, they understood that when you're stressed, when you start feeling really stressed, you start having this feeling inside of you. And the more you get stressed, the more you start having a shallow breathing, the more your organs suffer, the more your body starts to hurt. And they knew then that you can control your thoughts with the mantras, but you can also control your well-being through breathing. So what did they do? They gave us breathing techniques called pranayama. And these breathing techniques, when we breathe, try right now. Breathe. Don't we start to feel better right away? Don't we feel this shoulder relaxing when we breathe deeply? Try one more time. Doesn't that feel great? Don't you feel the stress coming out, the stress being lifted from your hard day of work? So that was the other one. So the physical, the mantras for the emotional, the mental with the breathing techniques. And then they talked to us about spirituality, the spirit. Now, my friend, I don't mean spirit as religion. That's not what they were talking about. They were talking about the spirit. Spirituality as being able to cater to your spirit. What they meant by that is your spirit, your heart desire. What do you truly want in life? Listen to your heart. Go inward. Take care of your desire. Take care of yourself so you can fulfill your own reality. That's the tools they were giving you. They were giving us tools to cater to the four-dimensional aspect of our being. They were giving us tools so we keep this body healthy, so we can have a great life. They were giving us the tools such as the mantras, so we could craft our own reality. They were giving us tools such as breathing technique, so we could breathe properly and live a long life. We all know the first thing we do when we are born, we breathe. The last thing we do when we die, we stop breathing. How important is that? Now you are going to ask me, well, that's great, but where can I find this information? Like I said, a book is a great tool to fulfill your destiny. There's a book out there that covers 5,000 years of history, that tells you the complete practice, what the masters had in mind, that talks to you about the history. Why did they develop this practice? What is a mantra? How to practice it? What is pranayama? How to practice it? What is meditation? And all the great tools they left behind. There is the book. And that book can become your tool to fulfill your own destiny.
Thank you so much, Samia. That was a wonderful speech.
Thank you.
You gave us information, and I enjoyed it so much. So how did you get started in yoga?
I loved yoga for a long time, and I was in a career, and at some point, like everybody else, I stopped breathing, I got stressed, and so on. So one day I kind of had enough, and I decided to fulfill my dream, which was to study yoga. I left, and I went and lived in the Himalayas.
Oh my goodness.
And when I came back, I wrote a book, which I just published, which is called...
Congratulations. That is
Thank
awesome. We enjoyed you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. Now, to evaluate Samia's wonderful speech, The Philosophy and Science of Yoga, please help me welcome Alan Davis. Alan.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, Samya, for your speech. Tonight, Samya was tasked with making a sales proposition based on her expertise, in particular to persuade the audience, the listener, to make some action. I want to give 3 thoughts. One thing that Samia did really well in her speech was the information she gave. Most of us know yoga as only a physical practice, as it's done in the US here, but she talked about the 4 dimensions, not only the physical, but also the emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of yoga. I really liked Samia's descriptions of all of the different aspects and what the benefits to each of those could be. In particular, talking about the mantras affecting our emotional state, the pranayama breathing affecting our mental state, and listening to our heart's desire to fulfill the spiritual need that yoga helps us with. So I thought the information was really good, laying out, really more fully explaining what those 4 aspects are. One thing I think that could be better about Samia's speech is to make a very clear call to action. Since this was a persuasive speaking project, it was not entirely clear to me what I should go out and do. Once you've captured my attention and you've got me interested, then the follow-up is to make me have a desire and to make a very clear call to action so that I want to follow through on that desire, whether it be buy a book or sign up for a yoga class or membership or learn more in some other way. What I liked best about Samia's speech up here was when she got really physical and involved her body. In particular, when she was talking about the feeling of stress, she curled up like this and talked about how it feels, and I could see in her gestures what it was like to be in her head in that moment. Then right after that, she actually involved the audience with these breathing exercises. Very quickly, just had everyone take a deep breath. We changed our state. Then she talked about how we're affected by that. And finally, she had us breathe in again, and very clearly, we could feel exactly what she had said. So when she used gestures and body language to communicate with us, and she involved the audience, it was exceptional. Thank you, Samia.
And thank you, Alan, for that fine evaluation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have an opportunity to see just a small slice of life in a Toastmasters club. For a few moments, you'll get to visit with Promasters in Foster City. Hope you enjoy the view.
My club is a morning meeting club. We meet once a week, every week. We start at 7:30, we end at 8:30. We meet at a cafe called Mimi's. We meet in the back room. They're very, very gracious to let us have the back room. And we also have a dedicated wait person. Nancy has been our wait person since the inception of the club. She's wonderful, she knows us all. She'll order your meal as soon as she sees you walk in. We actually have made her an honorary member, so we pay for her membership for Nancy to be a club member.
If your speech is engaging enough, they put down their fork and they listen. We definitely have a very friendly club. We all get along, we enjoy each other's company, which is part of the charm of this club. And it's not just about the speaking, it's about the leadership and getting to know people, networking for people who in this tough economic time may not have employment. Getting involved in Toastmasters gives you connections with people that do all sorts of things.
We're very high energy, we're very supportive, we're very fun, and we're very humorous. I, for one, look forward to Thursday mornings, whether I have a role or not, because it's just so much fun. We all care about each other. In a way, it's kind of like coming to a party or a family reunion. It's really fun.
Our club is very encouraging, and they encourage the new members to definitely take on the speeches quickly. It generates interest and enthusiasm. And each additional speech that you give bring on additional dimensions. So by the time you finish 10, I believe, they're trying to make you a very well-rounded speaker. But also various dimensions of public speech, such as how do you evaluate a speaker? How do you listen? How do you do impromptu speech? At the same time, you also build network and connect with like-minded people who are interested in improving themselves and make each of us a better person.
I'll be a Toastmaster for life. And why? I believe we can always improve our skills. There are several areas in my public speaking that I still think I can improve.
We sometimes are spilling out of our facility because we have so many people. People will show up, they'll come visit, and they'll join.
It's fantastic. I highly recommend it to anyone.
I love Toastmasters. I use the skill set every day in my public life as well as in my private life, and I encourage anybody who has an interest in public speaking or fear of public speaking, come check out a club, join Toastmasters.
Welcome back to Bay to Bay. Our next speaker is Denet Lewis, and his speech is entitled, A Portfolio's Best Friend. Please help me welcome Denette, A Portfolio's Best Friend.
You owe it to yourself to learn this secret. I'm sure you've heard a diamond is a girl's best friend, but it should be a diamond is a portfolio's best friend. I want to tell you how I first got interested in diamonds. As a kid, I loved graphite because it could be used to make carbon fiber to build bicycles. Well, I got curious and I wanted to learn about diamonds, which are also made of carbon. Diamonds are carbon in its finest structure. It's most advanced. For the chemist out there, a diamond has the perfect chemical bond, the shared electron bond. It's the hardest substance that nature's been able to produce. It's formed in the worst conditions. In fact, let me tell you a little about the history of diamonds because it's so fascinating. The more you learn about diamonds, the more interesting they become. They're actually old, not just old, but incredibly ancient, profoundly ancient. Diamonds are older than the earth. They're older than the moon. They're older than the sun. In fact, it's believed, and this was just proven or confirmed in 1987 by astronomers. They saw in the distance an exploding star called a supernova, and in that, using a spectrometer to analyze the light, they could distinguish diamonds. It turns out that when a star explodes, part of that carbon that was in there came out in the winds of the exploding sun and created diamonds. Well, a few billion years ago, Earth did not have the atmosphere to protect meteorites from hitting it. And it's believed that some of these meteorites contained little bits of diamonds which were able to survive crashing into the Earth a few billion years ago, getting buried down in what's now called the diamond stability zone, which lies 100 miles below the Earth's surface. Coming up to the Earth under spectacular conditions where every single thing has to go perfectly right for them to survive the trip, riding through a volcano to eventually come these wonderful gems that people wear. At the core of those gems could be something that is 10 billion years old. At the very minimum, you're at least having something 1 billion years old. A diamond is forever, is not just a brilliant marketing line, but something that has solid truth, is one of the most stable things in the universe. Amazing substances. So I want to tell you about some of the rarest diamonds are colored diamonds. And particularly, I'm fascinated with pink diamonds that come from Australia. I love Australia. Pink diamonds come from the Kimberley region of Australia, and it's not known for sure where they get their pink color. It's thought to be a slight defect in the diamond structure that gives it a pink color. Now, pink diamonds are extraordinarily rare. Diamonds come in different colors, and most of the colors are extraordinarily rare. Yellows, blues, pink, red. You may have seen them on some of Hollywood's celebrities. Halle Berry got the orange diamond famous. Paris Hilton got the pinks famous. J-Lo got yellows. And the Titanic had the blue diamond. But diamonds have appreciated in price, especially the rare colored diamonds. The natural colored diamonds have done remarkably well. Pink diamonds in the last 9 years have gone up 360%. According to Sotheby's, according to Fox, Bloomberg, and CNBC, diamonds have averaged 10 to 15% a year since rare colored diamonds have averaged 10 to 15% a year since record keeping began in the 1970s. Now, going along with that, I was checking my mail the other day, and lo and behold, I got this advertisement in my mail which says, forget gold and silver stocks, forget gas stocks. It says there's only one natural resource to look at, and it's diamonds. Diamonds, as this advertisement points out, the supply is decreasing and the demand is growing. And that's more true with colored diamonds than any other diamonds. In fact, the supply of diamonds is growing at a mere 2%, and that's of all diamonds, while the demand is growing at least 7% a year. Welcome our friends in China and India. Historically, the Chinese would get married with jade, and they would have some gold and a little bit of jade. Well, recently they've gotten into diamonds. Our friends in India are also getting married more and commonly with diamonds these days. The demand for diamonds is increasing. Now, diamonds as an investment are extraordinarily rare and unique. They offer some very unique properties. They're portable, the most concentrated form of wealth that there is, far more concentrated than gold. So they're portable, extraordinarily rare, beautiful. They offer privacy. They offer uniqueness, and there's something tangible. You can't take your annuity or mutual fund to a cocktail party, but you can certainly bring a diamond along with you. You really owe it to yourself to learn more about this unique, rare, tangible, beautiful asset that the more you read, the more you learn, the more you research, the more fascinating they become.
Thank you, Denette. That was amazing. I'm a yellow diamond girl myself, but that is just amazing. So is there any chance that diamonds will run out at some point, or how do you actually get into that?
They're actually shutting the mines down in Australia in a couple of years, so pink diamonds are going to go from extremely rare to even more rare.
Oh my goodness.
So there's going to be a shortage, especially of the finer, rare colored diamonds.
Wow. Well, that is good to know. I have to run out and buy a few. How about that?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Denette. Wonderful speech. We're looking forward to hearing your evaluator. And now to evaluate Denette's fascinating speech, please help me welcome Annamarie Buonocore. Annamarie.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, Denette. It was a pleasure listening to your speech this evening. What I really liked about your speech, for starters, is that you had a great, captivating, and intriguing opening. This was especially enhanced with your vocal variety. You started off very soft, and then you grew louder. I appreciated the way you moved around the stage and interacted with the audience. That was very good. You had a nice presence up here overall. We could relate to you. You were personable. You were friendly. You didn't come off too stiff. And your hand gestures were very nice, very flowing, relaxed. Overall, the informative speech had a nice flow to it. We could follow it from beginning to end. We could understand your words. You had a fascinating subject matter. I liked how you talked about the history and how you emphasized just how old the diamonds were. You had very colorful, vivid language. It was graphic. When you described the supernova and these history of diamonds, we could really tell what you were talking about. You appeared very comfortable, very confident. You were in control of the stage. You definitely sparked my interest. I want to go home and read more about diamonds, which was great. You could have really sold the product if that was your job, to sell the diamonds. You could have done a very good job with that. You're a very good and credible source because you even cited a few sources that we could go verify this, and I appreciated that as somebody who doesn't know much about the subject matter. So that was very good. Overall, the voice was nicely projected, and I would say that you really achieved and exceeded the expectations for Project 1 of the informative speech. Now, for a few things you can do to improve this speech in the future, I liked the magazine that you brought in. That was interesting. I couldn't always tell exactly how it related, so maybe some visuals. I know this is very difficult, seeing that diamonds are a very expensive proposition, but if you could bring something, some kind of jewelry or something to show the audience, that would be great. And I know this is a very informative speech, but if you have any personal stories about diamonds or friends or family about diamonds, that would be great. The title, I couldn't exactly follow it. When I first read your title, I didn't expect it to be about this subject. So maybe I would reconsider that. But overall, you did an excellent job. I appreciated being your evaluator, and I look forward to hearing more from you in the future.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen our show. We've heard two wonderful speakers. We would also invite you to visit our website, d4tm.org, for more information. And we'll see you next month for more Toastmasters Bay to Bay.